Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Well, son of a gun, I was up way too early from pain-related insomnia. Thumbs up for that. It was gray earlier this morning. I think it's getting to be a little bit sunnier out there. Thumbs up. It was not chill yesterday, but I went out walkies with an undershirt and overshirt just like the day prior, and was pretty comfortable. Now, I think it's going to be warmer than that today, but still, hopefully it's going to be nice where you are. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Ugh, itchy upper lip. I've gotten some things written down because ADHD brain, it's almost impossible to remember things. One thing, we still occasionally get donations for various things, and somebody brought in a half box of comic books. They were primarily like manga and like Lone Wolf and Cub, but a couple of them were these old classics illustrated. And this one, Devil's Dictionary. Ambrose Bierce wrote this, I think it was he wrote it in a series of posts for magazines over a period of a long time. But he started in 1881. And it is still just acerbically, sarcastically biting and funny. And I laughed out loud when I got to the end of the A's. I want to read just a couple of these to you and then end with the part that made me laugh out loud. Because it's things like Aborigines, persons of little worth, found cumbering the soil of a newly discovered country. Yeah, the people that used to live there, or do. And accident, an inevitable occurrence due to the action of immutable natural laws. Up to adore, to venerate expectantly. Ambidextrous, able to pick with equal skill a right-handed pocket or a left. And ending with the one that made me laugh out loud, art, noun. This word has no definition. Still just as sarcastically funny as it was back then. I was watching a quick video on the differences between the generations, and one of the big things that I have tried to not get stuck in, and so many older people do get stuck in, is thinking that the world that they grew up in is the world that's still here right now. And that ain't true. Not at all. I, who tried to keep that in mind, still all the time underestimate just how much things aren't like they were. And even I understand that the world of 5 years ago doesn't exist anymore, let alone the world that I grew up in. So yeah, things change. This has to do partly with what I was talking about yesterday with loss of cultural relevance. And also, I got to see an explanation of more why older types would think that younger people are being rude when they're not really. I expect people to answer a phone with hello when I call, but I now understand why people don't. Everybody was warned that doesn't answer was warned when they were growing up, you don't answer the phone with hello. You're going to get scammed. You're going to get recorded. Something's going to happen. So you don't say hello or your name or anything else when you pick it up. Makes sense. For me, I expect to hear at least some acknowledgement that you're there. if there's that, I can at least deal with it. Otherwise, I'm just going to be equally as silent because I won't know that there's anyone on the other side of the phone. So at least I understand. Thumbs up for that. Now, what else do I have written up here? Yesterday. Hokey smokes. I've got this written down here. 4 p.m. med. I've got a tablet in here. Yesterday, well, first background on that, of course, once again, I've been taking a mild blood pressure med, guanfacine, for some time ever since I stopped taking Ritalin. It does help with ADHD symptoms. But I've been taking it twice a day for a while, and it's really done great. So I talked to my med manager about taking it 3 times a day. Well, the first day I did it, my pulse dropped down to 48, and I read that, yeah, it can drop your pulse. And so I wanted the next day, yesterday, to take my blood pressure and pulse at 3 o'clock in the afternoon so that I could determine whether at 4 o'clock I wanted to take the med. 5 o'clock, I realized I forgot to do that. So I took my blood pressure and my pulse, which the machine I do does both at the same time. The machine I use does both at the same time. And my blood pressure was like 135 over 70 something. So still, again, not high really, but I don't like the 135 at all. And my pulse was 59. Just like it should be. I didn't take the med then because I want to take it every 8 hours, which means today, having seen that yesterday, conceivably I could have taken it at that time, I am going to check again my blood pressure and pulse at 3 o'clock to determine whether or not I feel comfortable taking another one at 4. Hopefully it's all going to be fine. Just thought I'd mention that. There was something that I wanted to talk about that had something to do with that, but with ADHD brain, even though I'm able to remember better and concentrate better periodically, it is by no means all the time, which is why I want to try 3 times a day. So there's something I wanted to say that wasn't written down that I was thinking about while I was talking, and oops. But good golly, Miss Molly. Yeah, I don't actually have a ton written down because I haven't done a ton since yesterday. I've played some video games. I have gotten these cards already. I got the rules, which has the campaigns for each deck. There are... Oh, my nose is so itchy, too. There are 9 campaigns for each deck, and they suggest... What is the word? They recommend, they suggest, yeah, I can't remember the word here. Oh boy. That you mix and match, make your own campaigns and missions and adventures, and then mix and match between the decks and do all the various things. But they have 9 campaigns for each deck, and I set up each one of my decks in the campaign that's coming up. Because I have beaten the first campaign so often with the Lowly Thief, first campaign, the first quote-unquote adventure in the 9 adventure campaign, I have now made that deck up for the second adventure, whereas all the rest are ready for the first time through. And I just thought I'd mention that. Because it's interesting? I think so. I like talking about my stuff. I like playing my stuff. I like looking around at all the various things. It's all cool, I think. But yeah, past that, not a whole lot has happened. I had just... Well, a lot of what took up my time last night was I had to do some more wash. And then this morning, I took a shower. And so I haven't had a whole lot of time to actually do things. I did finally remember just now what I wanted to talk about. Oh, my itchy nose. As I talk, it scratches my upper my upper lip hair scratches my nose, and so it itches as I talk. I have been using this arm to gesture with, in case you haven't noticed, almost exclusively. I don't want to do that because I don't want to overuse this side. But then I also don't want to overuse this side because that would be bad if this side went down. But I've mentioned it before and I'll mention it again in the future. I spent 50 some odd years of my life, like 54 odd years of my life, right-handed, but basically ambidextrous. I could do everything with my left that I could with my right, except for sign my name and write quickly. I don't have any muscle memory for having done that at all. I've never signed my name with this hand. I don't know that I could. I also can, as stated, write, but not quickly because no muscle memory for it. Whereas with this hand, though it hurts, I can whip stuff out. Except after I severed the radial nerve on this hand some 10 years back, and my arm was just, well, my hand just did not work until the nerves started to grow back, thank goodness, and then now it works. I had to use this hand for everything, and this arm. I got so used to it that I became primarily this-handed and have stayed this way, except when this side goes down, then I start using this arm. This arm. Until this side starts getting better, at which point I stop becoming right-handed again, and I'm back to being left-handed. 50 some odd years of being right-hand dominant just doesn't mean a thing. My body is on, oh, okay, back to being left-handed. Oh, thank goodness. So, thumbs up on that. Past that, though, the only things left I've got up there is just a silly thing about spelling and words, and that's not important. And then I did watch a mashup video this morning. There's a fellow named like Bill McClintock, does mashups on YouTube. And the one that was done today was called 9 Inch Nails and Various Artists Killing in the Name of a Terrible Lie. And when somebody in the comments, had like a talk between, people going, hey, would you like to hear an apocalyptic beat of a song? And it's like they go, oh, sure, who's in it? And the answer is everyone. And literally everyone. Which, not literally everybody. But there must have been 12 or 15 different bands and groups and people all used in this one mashup. And it sounded seamless. It was amazing. This Bill McClintock does astonishing, absolutely astonishing mashups. With video to go with it, which helps the illusion. So when he's got Rage Against the Machine in the beginning, there's video of Rage Against the Machine. And when it fades seamlessly over to Dio, well, then there's Dio. And then when it fades into the music of somebody else, it fades into that. Thumbs up. I just think it's quite good. And I just thought I'd mention that. So past that, hey, if you can like, comment, share, subscribe, that would be very cool. Definitely a thumbs up. This older man appreciates it very, very much. And if you have watched this far, this older man appreciates that very, very much as well. Thumbs up and thank you. It is a very good thing. For each one of my Patreon patrons, you are beautiful and awesome people. Thumbs up and thank you. Without your help, life would be a lot more difficult. It is appreciated. For each one of my Patreon, I just said that part. What I meant to say was for each person that leaves me a comment, I read each and every one of your comments. I thumbs up each and every one that YouTube lets me, and if I can't, I give it a heart. And I answer as many as my nerve compression will let me, which isn't as many as I would like, but it can take me up to 24 hours to answer a comment. So if you're expecting a reply or a comment, keep checking back. Thumbs up on that. And hey, I keep getting the impression that I used to say a third thing in that row. Or is that the third thing? I don't know, because every time I finish with the comment thing, I feel like I should be saying something else, only I don't know what else I would be saying. So thumbs up on that. But thumbs up on that. I am officially an idiot, have been for a long time. I'm a human being. Oh, itchy nose. So yeah, it is a good thing to be alive. I do play an internet game of calling out a secret word and listening to hear if that secret word is called back, because it's nice to be heard, which is why I like to answer as many comments as I can to show you that you are heard too. So the people that played last time were Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up and thank you. Almighty Monkey Power, who watched, hokey smokes, quite a few of my videos in a row, which, thank you. I do appreciate that very, very much. And I much prefer winter, though I have seasonal affective disorder. I get depressed during the winter, but when I'm cold, I think better and I move and work better physically. So I prefer it to be cold, though I don't prefer it to be cold, because I like being warm, but not hot. And then there's Gus Garrett, 6838, thumbs up, thank you. Chris, thumbs up. And I am on the net, greatly appreciated. Yes, loss of cultural relevance is fun. What I don't find it annoying or disturbing, but it's interesting to watch younger folk, like, what's the one just above Gen Alpha, Gen Z, watching the younger folk of the newer generations try to explain why they think boomers and such are the way they are. And in some cases, I pretty much think they're absolutely right. No, it's just, again, the world is not the one they grew up in, but they don't let go of that. But in some cases, it is kind of laughable, but I don't get offended because everyone's just trying to figure the world out and trying to figure out people. In the videos that I've watched of this, they haven't done this in a, oh, let's laugh at these people. It's a, this is what I think is happening. Here's why there's so much clash. Interesting, I think. But I am going to edit, render, upload, take care of myself. That would be a very, very good thing. I'm going to play video games. I'm going to play with all of my non-video games. And I'm going to go for walkies, of course. Last night I went for, I think it's like a 4 or 5 mile walkies, the way I've got it set out. If not, I need to make it even longer then, don't I? So thumbs up on that. And hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done, because that would be very cool. But if not, do not beat yourself up. You deserve better. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is indeed a very, very good thing. I got to use this arm. I got to use both my arms. I'm going to lose them. Use them or lose them. Gotta love it. You take care.